fear changes us. And all of a sudden, we're talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. All of a sudden, we're afraid, to actually speak our truth. And then because we see a bully, right? We have a bully in office right now in this country, right? I mean, we see what he's doing with the rest of the world. I mean, and so fear absolutely feeds the bully, right? And the bully will just keep walking all over you. And in the case of the Palestinians, not only might they die, they have died, right? And yet there is something beautiful about the resilience and the determination of Palestinians to say, we're not going anywhere. If you want us gone, you're gonna have to kill us. And it brings, while being sad and angry about what is happening to them, it also brings great pride for me as that I have Palestinian blood, that is part of my heritage, that we won't go away, that I know where my grandfather comes from, my children know, and their children will know, and we won't forget. And that scares the bully the most, right? When the bully's victims won't go away. That's it. So I love that comment. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And I love the way that you talk about how people can catalyze their power. Just standing for your, it's what we talk about here on the show all the time. Standing for your values, standing up for who you are and what you believe in, And just, it makes me think about my own experience with the Contraband Wagon, right? When I first started this, it's not like I didn't feel fear. Of course I felt fear. Everyone I spoke to, the first thing people would ask me is, "Oh, are you going to be safe? Are you going to be okay?" Like it was for my physical safety
Yeah.
that everyone mentioned. Just 'cause, and here, all I was trying to do was start having conversations, you
Mm.
know, and it brought up that level of fear for other people and for myself. Um, and so here we're talking about ethnic cleansing, like you said, and genocide that these people are facing. So it really, it's got to be, while it's devastating, I can understand the pride that you feel seeing them stand up in the face of this evil. So, and ultimately, you know, how do you overcome that fear? For me, I spent about a month just reflecting. Obviously I was doing whatever I was doing otherwise too, but I consciously made a choice to spend a significant amount of time reflecting on my own values, what they mean to me. And I would literally just sit in my room and ask myself questions and think about these things. I actually sat down and did that. And I'm bringing that out because I want people to understand that this isn't like a hypothetical theoretical exercise. Like I actually sat down and asked myself questions and I tried answering them. And I did that over a extended period of time. And ultimately, all questions were answered. Decisions were made. And here we are taking action after action after action, building up the contraband wagon. Why? And I don't feel that same fear and I don't feel that same hesitation. And you know why? It's because I put all those fears to rest at the beginning, purposefully and intentionally. And I really think that the more people learn to not just assume that, okay, well, this is what I believe and it's part of my value system and that's it, but really interrogate their own values privately. Um, Sometimes you'll find that, things change, they're stronger than they once were. They're not as strong as they once were, right? And you have to interrogate yourself and decide for yourself. But once you decide and your decision is true to yourself, you will not experience, you'll get into the don't give a
Yeah.
F,
Uh-huh.
like arena. And
I'm right there with you.
yeah, that's where I am too. And it's because it's not because I don't fear consequences or that I don't um or that I don't even that I don't expect negative consequences, I do. Since I before I even started my first live stream or made my first YouTube video, I knew there were going to be negative consequences to the work that I have done. But ultimately, I didn't feel like there was any choice in the matter, because the choice that I already made was to stay true to my values. And I know what most of those values were, and they've been interrogated. So I never, I was doing a lunch and learn presentation for Sacred Heart College's School of Education. And at the end, it was a question and answer. And one of the participants mentioned to me that, you know, she's like, I don't think that we can hide that there are going to be negative consequences. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that we should hide that either. When you stand for your values, that negative consequences can ensue, especially when you're standing up against like a tyrannical power like the United States or Israel, right? The consequences can be anywhere from 0 to death, right? And so I was like, of course we can't hide the consequences of standing for your values. However, um, that is not what I choose to focus on in my work and in my conversations on, taking that power back and fighting for your human dignity. Because ultimately, once you choose to do it, and that choice is built on a foundation of a value that you interrogated and that you solidified, then the consequences are just a part of your life, right? The consequences just become something that is a natural consequence of the action you're going to take because you're living your values. And so you don't end up kind of focusing on it or being as fearful about it. You just know. You just know it's there and you have already accepted it. So therefore, it doesn't come up as like something you're constantly worrying about or fearing because it's been
Yeah,
accepted.
100%, 100%. I speaking of fear, um, I agree entirely, right? Once I made the decision, and I did make a decision. I made a decision that I was going to speak my mind, um, no matter what the consequences were. And there can be very real consequences against you or against me for speaking truth, where there are others who are very much opposed to that truth and opposed to that truth being spread. And then I had a bit of a perspective like moment for myself, and it was this: if I am afraid and I allow my fear to stop me from using my voice, how can I look my children in the eyes as a parent, as a father, as a man, for not standing up for what I believed in? How can I look myself in the mirror if I don't stay true to who I am? And then I thought, and what am I really worried about? There are people being slaughtered. And like, let's take a moment and recognize that. You and I are sitting here talking. We're on we're on this live stream. We're comfortable in our homes. We have the freedom to have this conversation. We talk about leaning into our fears no matter what the consequences are. And right now, as we speak, there are, and it's not just Palestinians, right? There are many other, other people dying and being murdered throughout the world. Um, and but just to take the Palestinians for a moment, they don't even have shelter. Many of them. You know what else the media, Western media, isn't talking about right now? Gaza. Not only is Gaza not over, Israel is bombing Jenin in the West Bank. They are killing Palestinians in the West Bank. This is a genocide. It is an ethnic cleansing. They are dying. I man, I couldn't get this out of my head. I saw a video Oh, and by the way, right, it's not just Palestinians, right? They've occupied parts of Lebanon, parts of Syria. They're killing Lebanese and Syrians as well. Okay, they're all not human for the Zionist state. They're not humans, so they can kill them at will. And there was a video that surfaced of a Lebanese father and his two 17-year-old boys. They were, I don't know where they were going, maybe they were fleeing the area, and an Israeli sniper shot at the car, killed the father in the front seat, and his boys are yelling, Baba, Baba, Baba. And I had to turn it off. Because what if that was me and my boys and my daughter with me in the car there? That is happening right now. What consequences can you do to me that isn't that? So the consequences be damned.
Yeah,
I
man.
right, period. And I, no matter what happens to me, I will sleep well at night. I do sleep well at night. Sleep well in terms of being comfortable with myself and the stand that I took. You talked about feeling compelled to do this work and not having a choice. That is exactly how I feel. I feel compelled, right? In this country that is the main bankroller of this genocide. The least I can do is amplify my voice. The least I can do at my job when I go to court is to wear a pin on the lapel of my jacket to show where I stand and to let it be known I'm here. I'm not going away. You may not like it, or some people may not like it, and it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be silent. At the very least, that is the bare minimum I can do.
Thanks for watching. For access to the full-length conversation and all of the 2-hour-long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support and see you next time.